Hello, everybody. Welcome to Bucs Bounty. I got my man Press here.
Mm.
We're in the studio down at the North Shore. We're going to talk a little Buccos, little Cruz. A couple episodes we talked about. Hey, are we overreacting? Right? Is he going to struggle all year? Well, he's not struggling anymore, folks. Press. Let's get into Cruz a little bit. What have you seen different? Obviously, the numbers jump off the page, but tell me about what you've seen with this guy.
Yeah, the numbers have been incredible, but it's not just about the numbers. It's about, can he sustain this over time? And I think what we've seen from him is that his approach and just how mature he has seemed this year and his ability to take walks and get in two-strike counts and battle as opposed to, we see him in the past waving at a bunch of pitches with two strikes. He's been taking more pitches, getting on base more, being aggressive on the bases, which is exactly what you want from a guy like him because he can still pretty much at will. He just has to go. And we kind of see everything colliding right now with him. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, we've always known this guy's capable of what he's doing, but him being able to put it together. I mean, you go back to that New York series, right? He gets a ball caught in the sun, a ball goes over his head. Everybody in Pittsburgh seems to be wearing him out. I was just sitting there like, man, we need to give this guy some grace because if he goes, we're special. Over this 12-game hit streak, we're 9-3. He's hitting .417, 5 homers, 7 stolen bases, 16 RBIs. And in leverage counts, that means 3-0, 3-1, 2-1, 2-0, 1-0. He's hitting .875. Let me repeat that.
You can't do much better.
.875? .875. Wow. I mean,
Cool.
It just shows he's not normal.
Yeah, I mean, he hits the ball so hard that if he hits it a little bit more often, he's going to get more hits just by the law of averages at that point. And he's fast.
Right.
So he can hit a dribbler in the infield, get a hit. He has so many ways to beat you, and he's been using every one of those tools recently.
And let's get into your brain a little bit about his swing. There has been some changes. We've seen the two-strike approach. He changes at time. Really, he only does it when nobody's on base. When it's a chance to do damage, he kind of stays in that damage setup where he takes an actual stride. But Press, do you see the movement shift, right? He's narrowed up a little bit, takes that stride. It allows time to happen. It creates more space.
Yep.
This guy's huge. We're not big. We don't need the space.
No.
He didn't have a lot of hand movement. I had a little bit more, but it's cool to see a guy like him go in the offseason, hire a BP thrower that throws left-handed, but more importantly, own who he is.
Sure.
Because that's very difficult as a Major League Baseball player.
It is, and it's good that he's getting immediate positive feedback for all the work that he
go
did,
the way.
right? Because
Exactly.
that way, he knows that what he did and what he worked on is going to work, and that way he can double down the rest of the way. But yeah, you're right. You and I could swing in a phone booth if we had to. His long limbs, arms, he's got to have room to swing, so he has to create that within his stride and in his stance, and these physical adjustments, especially with two strikes like we talked about, and being able to kind of give a couple things up, give up the opportunity for power. He can still hit a home run in this whatever this two-strike approach is he has.
He can hit a home run with a fungo bat.
Exactly. So he's just giving himself the opportunity to maybe calm down a little bit, give himself some more time to see the ball and recognize pitches. And if he gets on base, it's essentially an extra base hit when he's still second. Yeah,
you're exactly right. And the adjustment's been phenomenal. Two-strike approach, phenomenal. But let's talk about adjustments. Paul Skenes' first start, right? We could go to the defense. He's not going to make excuses. Neither are we. This guy is special. We saw something last night, and I believe it's April 14th. So this is talking about April 13th start against the Nationals, the changeup, right? So Paul Skenes is east to west, and he's been missing arm side. He did it in the World Baseball Classic. Everything was trying to get that sinker going, split going, so he can really go with this, and fastballs up has always been his gift. Last night, one fastball swing and miss up. Changeup was the dominant pitch of usage, 37%. Are we seeing a shift in Paul Skenes? Obviously, we saw the mechanics were lights out right out of the gate because he could throw that sweeper 22 inches off the plate and land it. But, is it changing? Because he kind of referred to maybe this is the new Paul Skenes. Is he joking? Is he not? We're not sure.
They could be playing mind games as well. He's a game within the game guy.
Yeah.
But, if nothing else, it shows that he can dominate a game with that pitch. We've been watching that pitch develop and get more usage for a couple of years now. We've been saying how good it is, and it's good to see he had the right opportunity with 8 left-handed hitters in the lineup to really abuse them with that changeup.
Not just Paul Skenes. Obviously, he sets the tone. We're seeing the guys in the bullpen and other starters throw the football, have the water bag. He's really setting a standard that's high, but all these guys are showing up. I do want to touch on Braxton Ashcraft. This guy You know, Jack Wilson and Jacob Wilson told me last year, out of everybody they faced, they didn't get, not counting Skenes, they said Ashcraft is by far the nastiest dude they saw all year.
Yeah, I believe it.
Not in the Pittsburgh organization, all year. His stuff played different.
Everything's hard and everything has a lot of bite to it.
And it seems like he knows how to use it.
The curveball is really developed into something where he can kind of land that in different spots where he wants to get a strike or to put away batters.
Do you feel like, speaking of that curveball, I feel like he's done what I've always believed in with the curveball, especially a power curveball. It's a swing and miss pitch.
Yeah.
Because it's in the zone, out of the zone. It's hard to keep that in the zone. Remember AJ Burnett, who we're going to have on in the second half of this. You do not want to miss that. He would have to start it way out here, almost like a sweeper, and get on the side of it to keep it lateral in the zone. So his curveball is directly down, which makes his four-seamer play better, but he's using it in swing and miss situations.
Yeah, it's a dominant pitch, and we saw also he started to whip the slider out. Just whenever he needed it, he threw a few sliders for swings and misses.
That was his best pitch last year by far.
It was a great, and that was used as maybe a third pitch his last time out.
Yeah.
He kind of just had it in his back pocket when he needed it. But that curveball and the fastball have been dominant. They really complement each other well, and he's kind of learning how to use them effectively in all situations.
Yeah, I mean, the first start really relied on the curveball. The second start, not as much. The fastball slider played a little bit more, and then this last start against the Cubs dominated them with that breaking ball. How about the fact that Hannemeier's asked him a great question, right? Tell us about the split finger. And he was like, I don't throw a split finger. And Hannah goes, well, the changeup. He's like, I just grab it and throw it. I was like, that dude is a real machine. They're going to have to reprogram him. Did you hear that?
I didn't see that, but
right?
that sounds about right, though.
Right. I mean, if you're keeping it that thoughtless, you're in a really cool place.
You're in a very good place because too much thought can cloud the mind and cloud the body. Yeah, we know how that goes. You start spinning, he's locked in right now, and he's in a real groove that you like to be in as a player.
So we had some good luck since we talked about Cruz. I think it was not last episode before when Andrew Costello came on, absolute outstanding human being. But we talked about Cruz. Is it time to panic? Let's go with Griffin. There's a lot of panic out there. He's not ready. He's overwhelmed. Yes, he is overwhelmed, but he's ready to play. And I think it's coming. And we just can't rush it. He impacts the game defensively, impacts the game with his personality, his makeup, his character. And he also, if he gets on base, he is a threat. He literally changed the game. Our sixth inning happened because of him last night. Press, what are you seeing with him? What do you think it's going to take? We've talked about the swing a little bit. Go any direction you want about Konnor Griffin, because I'm hoping the same mojo goes to him that went to Cruz.
Yeah, and the hitting is what I expected to come last. I know he hit really well.
But you watched this guy play a lot in the minor leagues.
I did. I watched him play a lot, but I know how it's different in the big leagues and how guys can execute plans more efficiently, and you don't get as many mistakes to hit. So they kind of had a pretty good plan against him to go hard in. They kind of ruffled him a little bit and then went soft away, exploited him. He's going to figure out what they're doing. I think he's in the process of that and how to attack it. But the great thing about him is, like an Oneil Cruz, if he's not getting hits, if he just gets on base, he's a weapon. And defensively, he's a weapon at shortstop. With that arm, the range, I mean, he does so many things well. Of course he's going to struggle. He's 19 years old. He's going to have his moments.
He's 19.
He'll figure it out. When I was 19, the last thing on my mind was being on a Major League Baseball field. That was never going to happen at that point. And somehow 19. We got there eventually. But
yeah, 19.
I can't imagine being 19 years old and then saying, hey, go get him. And, well, he's better than I ever was. But that's different, right?
He's better than most people ever were.
He's better than almost everybody. So you got to give him a little grace, give him a little time. He'll figure it out. He's a smart kid.
Real quick before I ask you about AJ, talk about your call up. It's even more overwhelming now because of social media, how much media is involved. Everybody kind of touches you. Konnor Griffin's had that since spring training. He's been the national news topic in every baseball realm, whether it's USA, Baseball America, MLB. And then he also signs a contract. He's one of the youngest kids ever to get called up. He's being compared to Andrew Jones, Ken Griffey Jr., these huge names, Soto. Like, talk about the impact and the overwhelming, like, couple days that really is. And then to top it off, the last day of the homestand, what happens? He signs a $140 million contract and goes on the dad's trip. So he's literally been in the big leagues and not had a breath.
Right. And it's a completely different time and place, as you said, completely different type of anticipation. Well, I don't know if there was any anticipation for my call up, but
we didn't do a press conference twice, right?
So he has what can probably feel like the weight of the world on your shoulders, and people expect you to do great things. And he's always had that, but it's kind of been in the shadows of the minor leagues, and there's been a little less pressure. Now he's on every night. Everybody's paying attention to him. And I'm not saying that has an effect on him, but the game is now at a much higher level.
He is human, maybe not fully, but he is human.
He is, and he's done a really good job, I think, of handling everything. But there's just a lot there. There's a lot of external things going on that at some point, you just have to just exhale and just play the game. And I think he's getting to that point pretty soon.
Absolutely. All right. So up next in the next segment is AJ Burnett, teammates of ours. I love him. I'd go to war for him right now if he called. I'll be with him on Friday. Hint, hint. But Press, talk about AJ Burnett as a teammate, as a person, his scariness when he walked in that clubhouse. I'll never forget it. In Bradenton at Pirate City, I was like, it just felt different that day. It never changed. And then give me one AJ story.
Okay, so you kind of knew who the Jefe was when he walked in,
right? Wasn't it different?
It AJ,
I feel like the lights went flickery, and he walked in, and it was just a silhouette. And then you saw the tattoos. I'm like, dude, is that Jack Sparrow? What's happening?
Little intimidating.
Yeah.
He was a guy that if you earned his respect, he gave it to you. And as a young player, as both of us were pretty young at that point in the earlier part of our careers, he recognized that we respected him and respected the older players, and he gave that back to us.
Mm-hmm.
And he would give people, give them a little bit if they were out of their place, but was always fair. One of my favorite teammates. Had a lot of fun with him. But I remember. Obviously, there's the zombies and the Call of Duty.
Please go into it. Yeah, they were gaming together a lot.
So we did a little bit of gaming, but it was early on, and I didn't know AJ that well. So Jordy Mercer had called me. He's like, "Hey, you want to get on and play zombies with AJ and Rod Barajas at the time?" And
who are you gonna call?
And I was like, I gotta go somewhere. I gotta be somewhere. And you know how intimidating AJ is. And Jordy's like, "Hey, man.
Just cancel whatever you're doing."
I would get on. So I had to tell my now wife at this time now that, hey, like whatever we got going on, I can't. Like,
how'd she respond?
Do it. She's like, all right, I guess. Like she even had respect for AJ.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of get it. Yeah.
AJ,
Good for you, Janelle.
I gotta get on. Yeah. So that's just tells you the impact he had and the command he had over everybody essentially.
Yeah, dude's amazing. You're going to hear a lot about who his mentor was, why he became the way he was, why he loved on the young guys. You do not want to miss it. Thank you. Please like, subscribe, do all that stuff. I'm going to say that again because we pre-recorded that AJ interview. But, man, this one's awesome. The first one was good. The second one, even better. Stay tuned.
No one destroys a baseball like Oneil Cruz.
That is the hardest hit ball in known Major League history.
Pitchers should consider themselves warned.
And it is gone! There's a Cruz missile!
Log in with your cable provider and stream the Pirates all season long on SNP 360.
That stage is made for some and not for others. Because I feel like you lose the game in places like that sometimes because it's so businessy. The fans, if you have a bad game, you're the devil. If you have a good game, you're still the devil. You almost have to be perfect, and it's impossible.
I wanted to win. I left Toronto, and I wanted a World Series more than anything. Not that we couldn't have got one there, but seeing the dudes that the Yankees had in 08 pitching against them, so it was, and then when they signed CC, it was kind of like, okay, so I can get around. Cause I knew Holiday was coming up, his contract was coming up, so he had another year there, maybe two, and I didn't know if he was going to stay or what he was going to do. Obviously, he went to Philadelphia and became a god again. But
So good.
just wanted to get a ring, and actually multiple ones, to be honest with you, was the reason for that.
Yeah, there's probably no better feeling
get a chance
than that, right?
Well, to get a chance to be around that locker room too, man. Like, you always play against them. We played against them, and you hated them playing against them. These assholes, like, who are these guys? But it's just they were different in between the lines, man. Like, you take them out the field, and they were just like us in that clubhouse, bro. But once they came in that dugout there, they were the New York Yankees, and that's it was different. Obviously, you saw it playing against them. I did. Just went there to win, man. Go there to win. I thought I was in the prime of my career where I was at, health wise, body wise, and it was a good fit. Felt like a good time.
And then
But you
all
can't
of a
easily
sudden,
lose yourself there. You can.
yeah, I always said there's certain guys like Brian Reynolds has them as a no trade, and there's no trade clause. The Yankees, I think it's the Yankees, the Boston. I don't know if the Dodgers are on there. It's a little bit different, but like all the big market teams, and he knows his personality doesn't fit there, right? He doesn't want to be bombarded by the media all the time. And I was with Boston for a short stint, and even in AAA, big leagues was crazy, but AAA, we had more reporters there than when I got traded to the Pirates. I was like, is this it? Like, what do you mean? Like, we had Japanese reporters in AAA in Boston. Like, what's
Yeah.
happening? This is weird. And then when you get to Boston, you can't even stand in the locker room because there's so many people.
In the
So
locker room,
yeah,
with so many people. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's wild. But I'm going to go back to 2012. We get the news you're coming, right? So 2011, we fight. We're in first place. A lot of young bucks come up. I get traded over there. Jason Greeley gets traded over there, and we're in first place almost going into August. And then we literally, this is without question, we had the worst collapse in baseball history from first to last like this. And then it was like, oh, we're going to try this. They started doing their patty caking and trying to figure out what they want to do next year. And we just lost more and more. We never had an identity. The day you got traded to us and you walked in that clubhouse, I talk about this, about the power of presence. You're AJ Burnett. Everybody knows who you are. Everybody knows the attitude you have. And my first thing, I looked at Kutch, I said, we have a pirate. We have a pirate. We have a pirate. And I'm like, this guy's going to come in and he's going to take things. He's going to hurt people. And I was stoked, man. And Rod, just getting to meet him, but he's talking about you. He has experience with you, and you guys are good buddies. But dude, like, you literally walked in, and I don't know what you remember. I want to hear that. But I remember, like, we were all kind of in awe a little bit, because that's what the Yankees felt when you played them for the first time. When I saw Derek Jeter and A-Rod and they get in the box, I'm like, he's not human. This is different.
Yeah, yeah,
That's what it
yeah,
felt like.
yeah.
You were Batman, like, immediately. That wasn't the nickname yet, but you're a superhero type walking in. And it changed the entire culture of where we were going in that moment. And maybe that's bigger to some people listening, but at the end of the day, that's how it felt. Because we're at Pirate City, you're walking in, I'm like, man, I bet he ate steak for breakfast. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
like, now he's walking
I
into
remember.
Pirate
I remember
City.
going in. I just remember going in with open arms, because it was going to be a lot different than what I was used to. But on the other hand, I told you I think there was a reason for it, so I believed in the reason while I was driving down to Bradenton, before I even got there. So I was 100% committed before you guys even see me walk through the door. And I don't know if that was the reason or what. I knew you guys were young. I knew you had a great year last year. I knew it happened in Atlanta. I saw the cloud. I mean, I knew everything about most of you guys. But I also knew that you were young. So I don't know what, I don't know if I just stood up a little taller, Mac, that day or what. I don't know, but I just walked in as if I belonged, and it was just my house. Like I just wanted to be my house.
What was your house?
Our
And
house, but
what?
my house. Our house, but my house. You know what I mean?
Well, you kicked in the door, and then it was our house. How about that?
There you go.
But first initial thought, and how were you told that you were traded?
I was driving down spring training, or I had left on the road and didn't know if I was going to Clearwater or Bradenton.
So you kind of had an idea
So
you were on the block.
I was going, yes, 100%.
That's awesome.
And
A
then
lot of
they
guys, a
told me,
lot of
and
guys
then
don't.
I
So that's really
just,
cool.
right. It was, I knew it. So I just kind of, went over to the right and drove down to Bradenton. I mean, I didn't think nothing of it, negative wise. I came off of 2 horrible years in New York after a decent one in '09. And I mean, to be honest with you, you don't want to leave those guys. We had a great team there in New York, and I'll be 100% honest with you. We should have won 3 in a row. We were that
Yes, you
damn
should have.
good. But I just felt like I needed a break. And when I got traded, I wasn't thankful for it. But at the same time, I was, like I said, I open arms to it. I'm honestly going from New York to Pittsburgh. Everybody talked about it. Everybody was saying it. I even knew it. So I'm like, okay, so it's still baseball, right? So let's just go down there and just play baseball. So, it was, didn't really want her to get traded, obviously. At the same time, when it happened, it wasn't like a shock or big negativity. It was kind of like, okay, here's your next chapter. Let's go find AJ Burnett again, because you really lost who he was the last couple of years.
And you said something that I said today
And
about
maybe that's
Konnor
why I
Griffin.
walked in that way too.
I think so.
Mike. Maybe that's why.
No,
It's
I was
because
just
I wanted
thinking
to prove
that.
to myself that I wasn't done either. Like I wasn't, like I'm not going to go out like I did those last 2 years in New York. I'm not going to do it.
Well,
From
and I'm going to use an
the
example,
minute
and
I
I
heard.
love. Right. I remember. So my first year in the big leagues was the year before, and D. Lee got traded to us. And D. Lee was one of my favorite players growing up. I was partially a Cubs fan because my family, and it took him 3 days to
Mr.
get there. And
Smooth,
then
dude.
when he got
Mr.
there,
Smooth.
like, yeah, he walked in. He was smooth, but he didn't have that presence that you had. And I think it's because he didn't want to be there. He knew it was kind of the end. But I mean, he balled out while he was there. Like he was one of the best
Yeah,
players I've
yeah.
ever seen with the least amount of like need to. Like he didn't want to know about the scout report. He took
That's a good
flips
way to
and went
put
out.
it. Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? He just had that
Just
cool
to
factor.
play.
And yeah, he probably could have been even better than he was. But that dude, he's a borderline Hall of Famer for me. But that's the first big name and someone I knew and I watched growing up. And I'm like, that's D. Lee. And I became close with him. Every day he was in the hot tub. I'm in the hot tub. Every day's in the cold tub. Max right next to him. Do you need anything, Mr. Lee? I'll get it for you. But you had a different present. You know what I mean? You had a different presence. And to your mentality, I think you saying what you said, and I love this, just going to play ball.
I believe that's exactly what happened. Well, obviously, I still threw pellets, but not like before.
You were
So
still
that's
touching
when
96,
you
97.
come.
Let's go.
Well, yeah, but I think I
But you didn't
realized that.
try.
Oh, I try
You would sit
sometimes.
93, 94. I forget. You'd be 93, 94, 98. Every now and then. Just every now and then.
Just every now and then, just when I got mad.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe everything I learned did come together, because I was different there than I was everywhere else. Not just composure wise, not just, teammate wise, but as a pitcher as well. The way I attacked the game and the way I attacked hitters was different. Yeah, I did a little bit of that in Toronto, New York, but not to the effect of I think I just, when I reset myself in Pittsburgh, I didn't put any limits on anything. Change up. But minus the change up, that was kind of the only limit that I would have put on myself. But
You hate
I
that.
just didn't want anything. I hated it, but I still threw it here and there just to make Ray happy.
It was so
Like
disgusting.
Rod.
You threw it to me in a live
I
batting practice
know.
and almost broke 2 ankles. I'd rather see the breaking ball. Golly, it's stupid.
I know.
Anyways.
But I don't know. It's just it all clicked, man. And I don't know if it was
So
being back around Ray. I talk about you guys bringing it out of me. I think you guys brought it out of me. Uh, I brought out of myself. I think it was a group, just a big group effort on everybody's part.
or it could have been you had to bunt and you got hit in the nose. I don't know.
Orbital.
Oh, my bad. My bad. Orbital. Yeah.
And I would have
I
won
got the
that shit.
pleasure
I
of
told him
having
that
a bunch of live at
as
bats
I
against
walked
you.
off.
Yeah.
Hell yeah,
Well,
you did.
you should have told them, listen, I hit homers. I don't bunt. If Hurdle would just listen to you, she told him that every day, that would have never
I
happened.
told him. But then
Every
again, I
day.
could bunt too because I was in the National League for so long. So I was dotting those circles that they put down. Like I'd have taken their money. Only, like I said, my boy Link was the only one that would get any problem because he was a good bunter.
Yeah, he was a
But
two-way
I
player
had
in
that thing
college too,
wrapped
so
up.
that helps.
I had it
Oh,
wrapped.
yeah.
Was he? Okay.
Yeah.
I had it wrapped up, and I think I just tried to pimp one, like nonchalant, like first one in the hole, and I never even saw the ball, dude. It was like, don't. And I told them dudes as I walked off, Ben's holding my face. I'm like, this ain't over. I remember somebody in the background was like, yeah, it is. And then they never bunted again after that, off the machine anyway, off the machine. Which
Yeah,
I've never
that's
bunted off the
priceless.
machine like that. Like, yeah, it was those balls were fun. We had no business doing
Dude,
that
yeah,
at
they
9
did
in the morning.
maintenance them
But
back in the day. right? One will start to slow down, the other one start to speed up and then take off the other way. I made $8,000 my first 2 spring trainings on the bunt game and the situational game we used to play. Hurdle was the greatest gift Hurdle ever gave me because I was making cheese. I just had wads of cash. That situational game was my best friend. It was like Todd Helton would throw in like $3,000 extra. I'm like, all right, baby, hit that 4 hole, $4,000.
So I'm dying. So what were you guys all thinking when I did bust my orbital? We like, Jesus Christ, what next?
Why the hell is he bunting? That's what I remember me and Guts were like, why the hell is he bunting? Like, let's see if it works in the game. Don't practice.
He's a 36-year-old veteran. He don't need a bunt there.
Yeah, like just put the bat out there just like this. Like, let him do PFPs.
Like that first game back, the fans were screaming, no, dude, no. Square around, they're all like,
no. Yeah.
And Rod thought they were yelling at him because he was at first. Rod was at first. He thought they were yelling at him because they were like, no, I'm not going nowhere. Don't worry. I thought I was Rod. I know, Rod. They're going to know to me.
Yeah, like how did that even come into your head, Rod? You haven't stolen a base in 12 years. Oh, that's priceless. That's priceless.
That's Rod.
That's Rod, yeah. All right, so
and then
you're in Pittsburgh.
Then I bunted the perfect bunt. Then he threw it away. And then I jogged first. And then Luis was our first base coach my first year. Is that right? Severio?
Yes,
what's his name?
Yes. Yep. Severio. Yeah, I think he's still with the organization in the Dominican. Yeah.
So anyway, they try to get the run. They tried to. Oh no, this is different. Never mind, different story. Anyway, I didn't run the second either, but that's just because I ain't running the second. I'm tired. I'm old.
I'm sure they were yelling, "No, no, don't run, no."
No, just a button, just a button. It was hilarious. As soon as I scrumped, I square around.
Do you remember Cuz's signs?
No.
Remember Cuz is so
Good
slow.
Old Cuz.
I remember when I was in Colorado, I go, hey guys, I'm just gonna say, give me an inning, I'll have their signs. So Kutch stole, I pitched out, threw him out. Jay Hayes stole, I pitched out and threw him out. We had Cuz's signs the whole time. The poor man was going.
Slow mo, dude. Slow mo.
Slow mo. I'm like, I think I'll figure it out. He touched himself 3 times that time. Like, we'll probably figure this out because he was running out of time. So the one thing a lot of people talk about is your mechanical adjustments, and I want to talk about the life of your fastball. It became consistent. How? For the fans. How did that? Because I mean, you think so your fastball, it's like you were able to dot it up away more consistent. Your command went through the roof when you look at the numbers from years past of how consistent you were. So like, yeah, you'd have moments, but you became a guy. Honestly, your sinker reminds me a lot of what Maddox was able to do when it was really on. You had so much lateral movement or horizontal movement.
There was a lot.
Yeah. Like you'd started at the hip, but it's like you perfected an art of where to go. And even if it had a little bit more depth down that day, you did a great job. And most guys cannot do this. I would say 90% pitchers can't see the movement. You would change the sights. And I think that's the most remarkable thing because you're over 10 years in your career. And here you are, you add a little bit more rhythm into your motion, the hands clean, getting out, you're throwing that sinker backdoor like it's an art form. Like, how did that come to be? Because it happened so fast. So like, I don't even know if I know the right story.
I don't either.
Awesome.
I mean, yeah, I think you nailed it when you said that. I just figured out, first of all, I never understood why guys couldn't see their movement on pitches. I saw every single one of my pitches. So I really never,
dude.
I know. I'm like, what are you looking at, bro? Like, what are you watching the whole time?
Yeah.
Like I'm watching the
Space
ball
magazine.
break, disappear, swing, and then you're going to turn around. They're going to read Burnett. Like I'll see all that. And they don't see any of it. And it's just weird.
And the brick wall. Don't forget the brick wall.
To me, that's the first thing. That was before any of it. That's the first thing. But I think I just figured out, honestly, where I needed to be with my body, my hand, and my direction. Because it was a little bit different on that pitch than every other pitch. Like it wasn't like.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was gonna say it wasn't a lot. Like it's very, very, very minimal. You know that. Like as far as the I mean, I was probably here on a normal two-seamer, and I probably did that a little bit. Just a hair. You're not gonna see that. Sorry, as good as a hitter or eyes you have or anybody
No,
ain't gonna see
no.
that. My direction was here. So let me get straight here. My hand's all swollen and old. So that's gonna be going to outside four-seamer. I'm gonna go a little more so it comes back. Just here, so my body, nobody's gonna see that either. I mean, you guys are watching one spot. You're trying to pick up right here. So you're not gonna know if I come here or if I come right here. I mean, you're talking that. So I figured those two things out, and it really helped me figure out the difference. And not figure out, it helped me be able to sink it and run it, if that makes sense. Because I was able to do
Complete
both.
sense. You were able to do
I was
both, and
able to
that's what.
sink it where I needed to. And when I wanted to run and I didn't want to sink, and when I figured out how to do those two things consistently, and I did, that's what you're talking about. That's when it kind of all went, but it all clicked just like that. So I think once I figured out exactly, I think throwing the end of the lefty helped me out the most,
Hmm.
because it was easy to righty. I just had to, aim at the right knee. That was easy, and pop it right back to the mitt or a little above right knee. But when you went into lefty, that was really when everything changed, because it was the same to a righty, but a little bit changed from the lefty as far as body and hand and ball position. So I don't know,
So
man. I just
no.
started doing
I'm
it.
gonna let you be really like
Honestly,
smarter about the pitching because you're really on to some cool stuff. So when we called the pitch, we called a sinker. We didn't say runner or sinker. How did you pick and choose? Just let these baseball people understand your thought process because you weren't a guy that looked at the scout report. You always pitched to your strength and let the game tell you what to do. And you really trusted us to like throw out those little wrinkles, which I love. Some of the best pitchers in
mhm.
the game that I ever caught were just like that. Let the game change you. Don't change because the game tells you nothing, right? It's silly. The ball will never lie. But how did you choose those things? Because your runner, you're right. Every now and then you get underneath it and run up and in, and those are my favorites because then old
Perfect,
Uncle
perfect,
Charlie's going to come back right there.
perfect.
But like, how did you figure that out? Because you had to change your sights. If you're throwing a sinker, yeah, you may start it just
Yeah.
above my knee, but if it's the runner, you don't want to get it too up because it'll get flat. So how did you figure out where
Right.
you wanted to start it and when you wanted to use it?
Well, I knew the sinker to the righty back door needed to have tilt. That's number one. So it needed to look just like a four seamer. It needed to have tilt.
Hmm.
The one to a lefty doesn't need tilt because every lefty has lightning down in. And I just knew those two things. So I wanted to make sure that to a lefty, it's going to be this way. It's not going to sink at all because I'm going to be in trouble if I throw one inside the lefty
Hmm.
and they can just drop the head on and kill me, kill somebody in the boat in the river, or even my first baseman. Like, I don't need that in my life. So it needs to be like this. And then I knew, like I said, that the sinker needed to have tilt to a righty. Now that's back door and that's inside, to lefty. But the times I felt like in a game I paid, and maybe this was being around Holiday, I don't know, but I knew when to overthrow one of them, and that would
Explain.
sometimes
I
play
love
into
that.
it. So if I need a double play or something, you know me, I don't want a double play. I want him to foul it off so I can strike him out. But just say I need a double play.
Yeah. Tickets.
Uh, I'm gonna overthrow the sinker because I'm gonna throw a sinker away and I'm gonna overthrow it but I'm not gonna throw it away. If that makes sense. I don't know. What'd you say a sinker does away if you overthrow it? It does what? It's gonna leak back over flat.
Yeah, and sometimes
So
that
I tend to
on your best days that played
so
for you, and on your worst
yes.
days that flat due out. Yeah.
Right. So on the good days, I would just throw it down the middle and overthrow it, and I knew where an overthrown sinker was going to do. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it
And
was
that
gonna
was my
go
one in
deep
the
in.
righty that you love so much. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
And I
and
just
and,
knew
and
I knew how to correct.
dude,
And at the
that's
same
so
time, like
awesome.
we talked about, I didn't throw it and be like, I didn't do any of that. I got the ball back. I was like, all right, perfect pitch. They don't know. So, but I think I learned how to pitch with those other two pitches and then overthrow the one that came in on occasion when I needed to.
Dude, everybody that throws a
I don't
sinker
know if
should
that
listen
makes
to what you
sense.
just said. No, no, no. It's actually brilliant.
Does it make any
Um,
sense? Because I kind of blacked out and I just
it,
I'm just kidding.
dude, it
But
is.
does it make sense?
Listen, You played a long time. You have well over 2,000 strikeouts. I've seen every one of them because we used to put it up in the locker room with music. Yep, there it is. And I think kids overcomplicate it. They want to throw sinkers into righties all the time. You are the greatest example of like, no, dominate down and away. It's our childhood to a nutshell, right? We watched every dude just carve down and away and get out.
And if you
It's
ask
still
them
the hardest
today,
pitch.
it's still the hard pitch to hit. Even if you ask somebody today.
It looks so far away, right? But when you have movement on it and you
Well,
start it off, it looks
I
even
think.
further.
Let me ask you this question. So I think it depends. It's obviously on the sinker baller. Like I don't know if I'd try to get Jared Hughes to throw that way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, he had so much
Could he?
depth down.
Because so much down that
Down.
okay, you can just
Yeah.
throw 100% into righties. Yeah.
Yeah. I
But
used to. I went
there's
out.
a way to.
I gotta tell you, no. Finish your thought, and I gotta tell you what I did to Jared Hughes. You'll love it.
I have no idea. Honestly, it's gone.
So, Jared, that's awesome. That's probably the best. Jared Hughes had
gone,
almost
man.
like that Skenes splinker. It just went straight down.
Yeah.
And
Straight down.
And he always wanted to do what you do, get ahead, which he would, and then he wanted to punch a ticket. But his slider just for a long time was not good. And one day I was like, no, I'm not going 12 feet off the plate to throw the slider just so we can be 1-2 or 2-2. So I walk out there and I said, listen, what we're going to do. You're going to throw this fastball right on top of the plate. I'm going to block it. He's going to swing at it, and I'm going to run his ass down to first base. And I did. I ran him down and smashed him in the back. And I looked at him, and he's so excited. I said, bro, you have no idea how good that pitch is. Like, you're throwing it from here, and it's going this way somehow. It makes zero sense.
Right.
And you're right. I don't think
with a sinker.
Exactly. I don't think he could have.
Yeah.
He maybe could have reached that side, but I think where he could have done it is but to lefties. I think he could have gotten the feel of running it and trying to get maybe a tick higher where it runs off. He just never. Those guys had a hard time seeing their pitches. I'm like, dude, here's the window. You're throwing it here. It's got to start here. We want it to run here, not there. That's problems, right? That's bushes, right? Here, problems. Here, bushes. But like, that's why I love what you said. What you said makes more sense and has worked for hundreds and hundreds of dudes I've worked with, saying, hey, can you feel everything in rhythm? That's staying on, working through. If you can get there, you can get in. But if you go in first, you start to open, right?
Yeah.
Because you never get that extension. And you were always the guy I go to and tell the story of like, this is how he did it. And it was so simple. It was freeing that I didn't have to think about it. I knew I could move my glove 6 inches over, and this guy will make the adjustment with his body, even if he doesn't know how to move the glove.
Yes.
And that was the coolest thing. It's like, you're so locked in on what you're doing. You're like, okay, he moved, boom, and you drive it there, and it's like, it snapped back in most of the time, right? Unless it was just a bad day.
I want to go throw a pin, dude, right now.
I kind of want to catch it. I don't think I'd be able to get back up, but I would try. So I want to top this all off. So 2012, we have a good year. We fall off the map again. You could tell it was close. There's some decisions we didn't necessarily like at the end of the year. One of them being Jay Hay not playing second base. I felt like it was an issue with like the team culture because like everybody kind of earned things. Milwaukee gets hurt. Nothing against Brock Holt, but it threw a wrinkle in who do we trust, right? But I also think it brought us together more in a cool way because we became a team of players that loved each other, and the coaches were there to coach now after 12,
right?
If that makes sense. I mean, we had the fun things we did on the plane and whatnot, but I think we created an identity that this is our team. And then 2013, Russell Martin signs, and you get him to buy me a Breitling. So thank you. I don't know if you even remember you did that because you took my number and my position all in one day. So that was nice. I really appreciate that. But you could see like, all right, we're making moves. We're making like, he's obviously a better player than I am. So we're enhancing our team in all these areas. And we have these young guys, and we have you, Liriano, and it was just different that year in 13. I think from spring training on, we just had a like no BS attitude. And that's when your shirt came, go sit in the truck with Hanley, which was one of my favorite moments in all of baseball. But we started to have some swagger. What do you think put that
Yeah.
together? Because it came fast, man. It really did.
I think the pieces they added were exactly who and what we needed. Um, you know, the Laureano came in, no bull kind of guy. Frankie was he quiet. You get him to laugh and talk, but no
Yeah,
BS
yeah,
guy really.
yeah.
Birdman came in, great teammate, but not really a BS dude either. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and as far as what Grilly and Shark did down there in the bullpen in their little tank, all of them are that way. So it was, I think everything that we were building in 12, we were like lacking like maybe two, three pieces, and the pieces fit that they found. They
Yeah, I
bought
completely
into
agree.
what, like a lot of people also that like nobody tried to come in and change and mess or do anything. Not that they would, but like there wasn't no, I don't know how to say it. There ain't no riffraff when they brought dudes in, like they came in, they saw what was going on, they bought right in first day. And I think that's a big reason.
Yeah, and that leads me to you just went down to spring training. I know you've wanted to be back on the field and helping guys and mentor guys. That's just your personality. Um, you saw some of that this year, didn't you? Down spring training.
Yeah,
I know you
yeah,
hadn't
a
been
little bit
around the
of it.
last couple of years, but that has not been that's been non-existent. The culture wasn't right.
Yeah.
There's disconnect, and as soon as Donnie took the realm, you saw it shift fast. So I was excited you were down
That's what
there,
everybody
and I
says.
kind of want to get
Yeah.
your take. Yeah.
I think, dude, first of all, it was great. It was, you know, had tip my hat to them for the invite. Can't wait for the next. But be back around it again. It's been a while. But a lot of people said that. A lot of people said that this is not how it was, that the field's different here. I think Donnie being from Pittsburgh, he gets it. He understands what winning there means and what it would be like to win there. So I think having him 100% bought in as well, helps. But I think the team itself, like the guys, just from what I felt down there, the hitters they added, a lot of the talk was, look, we were a couple runs away. We're just a couple runs away here and there. Guys are losing, 1-0, 2-0, and a couple runs away. I think the bats that they brought in are going to help that out a lot, and I think Ozuna's going to be huge for Cruz.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to be special this year. I mean, he already is, but I think he's going to have a breakout year, dude. And, with that rotation, just give him a couple runs, man. I think they're gonna roll. They got enough arms there and a good enough bullpen where, um, they should be able to put up some runs and win some ball games, a lot of them. And every single guy they brought in has bought in, like I just mentioned, like they did before. All class acts, from O'Hearn to Spencer, just Lowell, Lowry, great dudes, man, but pros, professional guys that have been there and it's done it, and they just want to win. And I think that's rubbing off on a lot of people as well.
Yeah, I mean, you could make an argument that they brought in
But you,
the best caliber talent they've ever brought in an offseason when it comes to especially the offensive side. But let's go back to that pitching. Captain America. You got to spend some time with Paul Skenes. He could have walked from LSU onto the mound of the big leagues, been just fine. But if you ever knew, I think about Roy Halladay and I think about his intensity and turning it off, turning it on. I've never seen anybody like it. I don't know if I ever will. I don't know if I'll live long enough, but this guy is the best I've ever seen. Like, period. Like, I can't even put him in a category. I've watched every one of his starts, dating back to his last 5 at LSU. Like, I don't even know what to say. Like, it's speechless because AJ, I'm a baseball lover. I watch the game intently. I watch body mechanics, all this stuff. This dude does things that dudes that have played 20 years don't figure out. He's making adjustments and
yeah,
he's throwing pitches to get it back in the game. And I'm like, this is incredible. I'll never forget this start in Seattle. And I had a conversation about it. I was like, hey man, you were fighting your mechanics so hard. Walk me through every thought process when you were shifting here, you're opening up, you're doing this. And he was like, dude, yeah. And just started going. And I'm like, and he was 21, 22 years old. It's his 7th
Yeah.
start in the big leagues, and he struck out 9, and nobody knew that he was struggling his rear end off just to get in the zone. And I'm
He
watching. I'm
figured
like,
something out. He figured something out in LSU. He figured out what makes Paul Paul. I mean, maybe he had it before then. I don't know. I don't know where or what he did before LSU. I just know him from LSU to Pittsburgh, but
he flew
he figured something
fighter
out there.
jets to the field.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I knew all that. Yeah, but as
Yeah,
far as pitching wise, yeah, who is this guy, man? Who is he? Maybe he is Captain America. You
yeah,
know,
but
I
like,
mean, I went down there. He's just, I mean, the way to put him is it's just a different being around. Like you just see, he's just a presence. You know, like kind of like what you mentioned. I think he's starting to understand that he has more to offer in the leadership role. I think he's starting to feel that out. You know, obviously he's a very humble kid for what he's already accomplished. You know, I'll give him
right?
that. I mean, we had some great conversations, and a few of them ended up being with him saying, you know, I don't know if I should say anything. You know, but they were good points. Like he probably shouldn't have. But I start him talking about how he's, you know, starting to figure out that he's going to be that leader, and that, I mean, you should be, dude. You're 8 times bigger than everybody there, first of all, and then you have 9 ungodly. I'll never stand next to him again. No, we're gonna sit down and talk next time. You got
Yeah,
9 ungodly. Yeah, I consider myself a big man, dude. No chance. And he's 23. Um, but he's just so put together. You know, like we talk about routines, we talk about things that get us ready 5 days before, not the first day. Like he has all that already. He's only going to get better, which is scary. So, yeah, he's definitely special, and I don't think there's anybody gonna be like him in a while. It does remind me of Halliday. Like I had a quote. Somebody asked me the other day, who would I take in their prime? I'm scared to say Paul ain't even hit his prime, ain't even close to it yet. So when he does, watch out. But when
yeah.
Doc
Let's
was in
say,
his
like, let's
prime,
wait till he gets
yeah,
there.
wait till he gets there. I mean, honestly,
Yeah,
this is just he's just figuring. I mean, he's just having fun playing with dudes right now. He's just playing with their heads. That's all he's doing. You just see him throw
yeah.
live BP to guys. I was back there like this, dude. I'm like, I was just laughing because he's just playing with them like big league hitters. He's just
Pl- playing,
you know, it's just
playing.
like, oh, okay. I mean, it's pretty impressive to watch, dude. But
Yeah.
um,
Do you hear him drop in the World Baseball Classic? I'm still ramping up. He's pitching against the best lineup
no,
in the world against Dominican.
oh,
And they asked him, like, so like now usually you're kind of in the ramp up phase. Like, oh no, I'm in the ramp up phase. I'm not trying to go any harder or anything else. My velocity's where it needs to be. I'm like, this dude's just playing games. What do you mean? Like,
you've
it's
got. I
wild.
mean,
Like,
he knows what it really is. He has figured out what works for Paul
yeah.
at a very young age, and he's going to learn more things that work for Paul. And he's, like I said, it's going to be impressive to watch through his career.
Dude, he did something, and the reason I want to talk about Justinko is because of Paul. He's doing that with his split. His split's going down now, and his sinker's staying more true. And I don't think the league knows it's coming because he literally beat the Dominican Republic with just that pitch. Those 2 pitches.
Yeah,
His
yeah,
four seam, he kind of ran away from, and he was just going like this. And I was like, oh no, they don't know this is coming yet because he just changed the profile of his split because it was probably his worst pitch last year after being his best pitch. I'm like, it's never going to stop. This guy's just going to keep getting better. It's
it is.
unreal. So I don't want to hold you too much longer, but I do want one guy I was hoping you got to spend some time with was Bubba. Bubba needs AJ. Bubba
Bubba,
is
yeah, we were talking.
Bubba.
I
Bubba, I
dropped the
feel
four
like
foot wall.
needs.
I dropped the 4 foot wall on him, dude. I dropped the 4 foot
Yeah, I
wall
was
on him.
hoping you did. Yes. Is he going to come? Yeah.
I'm kidding,
Yeah.
into that. I'm kidding, he did. He was like,
No.
interesting. Yeah, we talked about because we were talking hooks. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
because he's
Bubba's
got
a
a really good
peach.
hook,
He's
but
got
not an
really good
AJ hook.
everything, dude.
Yeah, he does. He's so athletic too. But like
Yeah.
he's got a next level when it comes to pitchability, kind of the same way as you. He grabs the ball, throws it as hard as he can. He's got a really good changeup. But like he has a chance because being around Paul and some of these guys to elevate fast. But I never want him to lose the demeanor of like I literally want to take this guy's soul at the plate. And that's what
Yeah.
reminded
Right.
me of you. Like we don't have
Yeah.
like
He's
Paul's not
that
like
way.
that. He's the only guy we really have like that. Ashcraft looked like he would probably murder his pet when he was a kid, but like Bubba would hurt you. You know, he's the guy that will probably get a benches clearing brawl at some point because he's so competitive. So do you see that?
He
You
is.
feel like that
I did.
guy's the guy that's gonna.
I saw it during his bullpen. I didn't get to see him throw. I saw him throw live, but not in the game. But yeah, he has that in him, dude, for sure. Um, he's a treat.
He's a treat.
He's a treat to be
So
around.
the last thing I want to talk to you about is you go to Philadelphia, and then in 15 you come back to Pittsburgh, and you pretty much were only going to play in Pittsburgh in 15, and arguably the best season you ever pitched without a full UCL, which I don't know how many people know that. You came in and you did your thing, and you were happy about it. The city gave you so many cool moments. When we were winning in 12 and 13, but I think that 15 year, because I got to watch it from Colorado, was wildly special for you. Just walk through it and tell me what the city means to you, because like I don't know why, but this place has drawn me in. It's a special place, and I feel like you feel the same way.
Yeah, there wasn't no, pretty sure about it. I think was the day after. I think I called skip the day after the World Series. Like I wasn't messing around. I think it's the day after World Series. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna call Neil and come back. Can I throw for you again? And he'd say, yeah, let's go. And then I think the next day I called Neil. So I didn't want to go anywhere else. I wanted to end there. When I came there in 12, I'm sure they kind of looked at me the way y'all did, the guy from the Yankees, presence, but what are we going to get from him, honestly. But they accepted me from day one. I don't know if it's just the way I went about my business or just the way that I came in and helped you guys get better. But that city took me in, took my family in, and I I couldn't pay for a meal there. You gotta be kidding me. It's just everywhere I go. It was special to me. So I felt like I should have never left there to begin with, is what it is. But I knew for a fact that the day after the season ended where I was going to play in 2015. Um, and I think I told them that. You weren't there. Told them that when I talked after my last game. I'm like, look, I came back here because the guys in the dugout. I came back here because of fans. It's just where I wanted to be, is where I was the happiest in my career, and it all worked out that way. So it'll always be my home away from home. So many standing ovations, just so many, just everywhere I went, man. It was just a place where I was accepted before I was even there. That's the best way I can put it.
Oh, I get it. Trust me. I want the fans to understand that, like, the way that they embraced us, especially you, dude, you don't forget that's a lasting impact. And then
no,
when,
no,
right, push comes to shove, where do you think about your major league career? And, I spent more time in Colorado, a lot more time. But this is always home. So to your point, yeah, like it's special. And my favorite part about everything out of your career is you're back. I want this to forever. I was talking to Kutch about this as we're going through free agent and where he's going to go. I'm trying to help him figure some things out. And like he went silent. And I was like, is that the plan? He goes, yeah, man. Like, that's my home. And I know you feel that way. He feels that way. I feel that way. Because like no matter where you go, it's still home because of the fans,
yeah,
because of the guys in the dugout. Not the front office, not anybody else. It's the guys you bled with. It's the fans that bled with you. And I don't know if
yes.
I felt
The
that
fans that
anywhere
got
else.
to experience winning. You take pride in that. Like, did we go as far as we
No
wanted to go?
doubt.
No, but we brought happiness to them, dude. Like we brought winning, we brought playoffs back to that city that wasn't there in 20 years. Like I take pride in that. Like we didn't go any further, but nothing I can do about it. And you know what? It's just a special time in my career that I'll never forget. It's
No
a
doubt.
sea of
And
black, bro. It's a sea of black. Sea
sea
of
of black. It's one of the coolest days of my life, right? Watching it looked like the bridge was moving in black, bro.
Dude,
I'll
I'm
never
telling
forget
you,
it.
driving in, everybody had it on. It's like the streets, everybody was just big. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was. I mean, kudos to you and Kutch. Like my little Twitter, like somebody brought it up at a wives. A bunch of us were out to eat, and I think it was Compton's wife talked about Penn State and the whiteout, and I remember looking at Kutch and I was like, we should do a blackout, bro. And like, I was like, did he hear me? And he's like, we should do a blackout, bro. It's like, and then Jay, hey, and then we brought it up to you, and then we just threw it out there, and it was game, set, match. Because like the city was in our dugout. Yeah, it's incredible. Anybody that was at that event knows it was the best sporting event of all time. And I'm excited when the World Series comes, beautiful people comes on, and you throw out the first pitch of that first game at PNC. That's my hope. This time, Russell has to move. I'm catching it this time.
You're catching this one? Perfect.
Yeah. Because there's no better walkout song. And if we could, copyright problem. But if we have it, I'm going to make sure that the intro is the beautiful people for this podcast. You hear that, Belsky?
Perfect.
We may have it in our system. You got to get it done. All right, man. Hey, I appreciate you. If you ever need anything, dude, I would go to the trenches with you any day of the week. One of my favorite dudes I ever shared the field with. And dude, I really appreciate all you did for me, for the city, and for all the teammates that you're with, because I know you did it the right way and always thought about your boys first. And there's not many like you.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it, Fort. You're all right with me
Absolutely.
too. You know that.
Absolutely. Yeah, we go to war together. I got you. All right. Thank you for watching Bucs Bounty. AJ's the best. Dude is a pirate through and through.
I'm bouncing the hook. I'm bouncing the hook if you catch me open day.
And I'll block it. I swear. Like 1,000%.
No hesitation.
No, I don't even need a mask. I'll block it for you. Yeah. All right. Instead of block, go subscribe, go like it, do all this stuff. If you don't, AJ will make sure you sit down. All right. Thank you. Good night. We'll see you soon.